Right. Hi, everyone. Welcome again to AuthorStory. I'm Alexander Lim, your host. And for this episode, I'm interviewing Gurutej Khalsa, author of the book, The Moon She Rocks You. And for those of you following along who are interested, you can go over now to the Amazon link in the description below the video and check out or get a copy of her book. So Gurutej, welcome again to AuthorStory. It's really great to have you with us as our guest.
Thank you, Alex. I'm really glad to be here.
Cool. So, Gurutej, I acknowledge that we interviewed you last June this year, but for the benefit for our new listeners, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
That's always a hard one. It's like a little about yourself, and it's like, where do you start with those things?
Okay.
I think the most things that are relevant is I built spiritual communities all over Canada in the 70s and 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And my teacher, Yogi Bhajan, taught us a lot of really amazing things. And the great thing about when you have challenges in your life, the tendency is one of two things. Either you really practice the things you know that sustain you, or you really bad habits, right?
Right.
So I was very fortunate in, when you're in the leadership role, that you can't be telling people to do stuff and not do it yourself. So I really got to dive very deeply into these teachings and see how they could sustain you. I mean, I had an arranged marriage to a narcissist and, no money. So it was really, there were a lot of cold weather, which I really hate.
Okay.
There was a tremendous amount of challenges in my life, and there have been, as I've gone through my life, as most people have a lot of challenges. So what do you do in these challenged positions? For me, it was like, how do we learn, or how did I learn things that could keep me more empowered and more alive and more aware and more connected? Because anything else in life is not fun. It means that we get drug around by everything that happens to us, right? So I'm 68 years old and I still rollerblade hills and do yoga all the time. And I'm very alive and aware. And these teachings with this book, with The Moon She Rocks You, was such a godsend to me, because it was like all of a sudden, I think every woman who gets this goes, oh, I'm not crazy.
Okay.
I really do feel different every few days. I feel totally differently. And it's only if you have tools to get you to the neutral or, empowered state, or do you get drug around by the challenge state and reactive state of that moon center? So the beautiful thing there's 11 moon centers. Every woman has them in her body. And sorry, men, no, you don't have them in your body, but stay tuned.
Okay.
Because if you learn these things, it will make it so much easier in your life. You'll have so much better tools to help you with the women in your life, to help get them to that really empowered state that serves them and you and everyone around them. So did you want me to go over the 11 moon centers? What did you want me to do here?
Well, actually, first, before going to the moon centers, I think if we could go again to the book, who can you tell us what it's all about? Well, you told us a little bit about what it's about, but who is it for, essentially?
I want to say everybody, but it's for women. It's for women first, because this describes all the 11 moon centers. It describes the positive, the challenged, and the neutral states of each one. And then it gives you antidotes. It gives you, exercises, meditation, foods that can get you into the empowered state, because that's where the goodies lie. That's where the gifts lie, right?
Right.
Each has a huge gift. And if we live in that place, then we get the gift. And it can be anything from being, tuned into your dreams, or to being a PR machine, So it's not just all dreamy, but it's very amazing aspects. So, yes.
Okay, cool. So my next question, you're about, I guess we might as well get into this. So what are these 11 moon centers that you talk about?
I was hoping you would ask that.
It's on my list of questions.
Yeah, it's on your list of questions. So the I'm going to tell you something. Women, I want you to listen, and then men, I want you to listen to something else. But women, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it again at the end probably. Your moon centers will probably not move in this. I'm just going to give you the moon centers from the top of your body on down. Mm-hmm. But once you get the book and you spend 3 months charting your moon centers, you will know exactly how they move, so you can look ahead in your life. It's like having your own crystal ball and going, oh, look at that. In 2 weeks, I am going to be in my, cheeks. So, oh my God, I really want that to be a time where I can really work on the PR of my business or in somebody else's PR, your, public PR. This is, oh my God, I need to plan a social event. I need to have my boss over to dinner. Woo!
Right.
I'm in the center. That's a perfect time to do that. So you get to look ahead and you get to really claim the energetics of this in your life. Okay?
Okay.
So we're going to go over these from top to bottom. And I will tell you, these are very sexy centers. Okay? These are all very sexy, sensual centers. And men, I want you to know that when you get these, you're going to be able to tune into your wonderful wives, girlfriends, daughters, people that work for you, and you're going to go, oh, I bet she's in this center. Because you can tell how we're acting. You can tell how we're acting when we're in our eyebrows. Okay, well, I'm just going to go through them and I'll tell you about them. And then you can see like, oh, yeah, I've been there. Yes.
Okay.
You're in each one about 2.5 days, each one, because the moon's 28-day cycle, right?
Right.
So your hairline is the first one. And we know how powerful the hairline is. Think about it. What did the Native American Indians do when they wanted to take someone's energy? They scalped them, right? Mm-hmm. So they cut all around their hairline. So this is an incredibly empowered place. And in the positive, you're very connected to your visions, women. And this is why they would send women out to moon lodges, out to red tents, so that they could really bring the visions back to the community, right? Mm-hmm. Challenged aspect of this, you're really paranoid. What does that mean? It means that you doubt yourself. You doubt everything, okay? And in the neutral aspect, nothing can move you. Not that you're stubborn, but that you are just really vast and your knowingness is really huge. Okay, so the second moon center is your eyebrows. Think about it. What have we done to our eyebrows as women? We color them, we tint them, we pluck them, we do all of these amazing things to try to get them into some form that we love. Mm-hmm. But the truth of your eyebrows is they act as a shield for your eyes. They collect things so that it doesn't fall in your eyes. They do amazing things, and we talk with our eyebrows, right? Mm-hmm. So your eyebrows are all about healing dreams. And it's about like understanding. And when you're in your positive aspect, you have the capacity to know your feelings and remember them. When you're in your challenged aspect, you move into fantasies and, illusions or delusions, right? And when you're in your neutral, you actually can share these dreams with whomever, right? You know who to give them to, and you're not attached to what they do with them. Yes?
Interesting.
Yeah. And the next one is your cheeks. So your cheeks are this beautiful aspect of our body, and you can tell somebody's radiance and life force by their cheeks. And we try to fake it by putting on blush and all this other stuff. But the truth of it is your radiance comes through in your cheeks. So your cheeks in the positive, I talked about this when I said you're a promotion queen, right? In the challenged, you're out of control flirting. What does that have to do with PR? Because when you're out of control flirting, you're trying to get someone else to tell you that you are good, that you are okay, that you are beautiful, that you are something, right? As opposed to knowing it yourself. And when you do PR, it means that you know how to promote something. And you have to actually know the product. Even if you don't believe in it, but we hope you do, you've got to know it. And in the neutral, it's that you are radiant and beautiful. You feel and experience that you're radiant and beautiful. Okay, your lips. When you're in your lips, you're really talkative, talky talk. Men have a really hard time with this one. So men, the good news
Oh,
is
yeah.
send her to be with her friends when she's in her lips. Go, darling, this might be a really good time for you to go out and be with your friends because, women are just like, da, 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 da. It's almost like you can't shut up when you're in your lips, okay? When you're in the challenged aspect of your lips, you're really sharp-tongued. It's like biting, nasty. You don't even like to hear yourself, okay? When you're in the empowered, you have really excellent, amazing communication, right? So your next one is your earlobes. I mean, earlobes are really sensual. I mean, some people can literally, they're orgasmic, and other people it's like not as much. But think of what we do with our earlobes. We hang jewels on them to emphasize how beautiful they are. So your earlobes are really about your values. And when you're in your earlobes, you want to talk about your values. You want to reassess your values. You want to check in and see if you're living to your values, right? And in the challenged aspect, you're very self-deprecating. What does that mean? You're down on yourself because you're not living in your values. And in the neutral aspect, you feel really empowered by your values because you're living to them, right? All right, the next one is really a sexy one too. Trust me, they get sexier. So the nape of your neck. Think about the nape of your neck. I mean, what is sexier than if you have long hair, like having your hair lifted up and the back of your neck kissed? It's like, okay. So the back of your neck is actually, you can feel the vibratory frequency of your vocal cords. So we're really susceptible to sound and voices. And we can really easily be romanced by someone's voice in the nape of the neck. When you're in your challenged, you feel unable to communicate. And when you're in the neutral, you feel like you can really speak from your heart, very connected. The next one is your nipples. And your nipples, in the positive, even in the you're overgiving, just completely overgiving. And in the challenged, you feel like a victim, like you're exhausted, you're done. What happens to women when they've given too much is they get really exhausted and resentful. So that's the challenged aspect of this one, right? The neutral aspect is unconditional love. You just feel like, okay, you know when to say yes and no, but in the process of that, you don't have to be nasty or mean. You just feel like you can say whatever you're going to say with absolute connected love.
So, Gurutej, does this have anything to do like what we call the mothering instinct or anything like that?
Well, women have an extra arc line, nipple to nipple.
Okay.
And so, the nipples have many amazing qualities, and nursing is one of them, giving is one of them.
Yeah.
But this energy of the nipples is very connected to that giving aspect that we do each others. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Got that. Please continue.
Your next one is not quite as sexy, but it's really important. It's your navel, right? Your navel or your belly button. And it's where we were connected to our mother, right? And it's your power center into the world. And it's very much about physical energy. When you're in your navel, you feel like, yes, I can do this. I can start a new, workout regime. I can tackle this job. I can, whatever it is, you feel energized and connected. Unless you're in the challenged aspect, then you're really unstable and that you just don't have any energy. Couch, right? And in the neutral, it's like you have nothing can, stop you from showing up for whatever you need to show up for. All right. One is your inner thighs. And when you're in your inner thighs, you feel highly organized, right? Very connected, loving, but organized. It's like, it's a time to clean out your desk, organize your team, clean out whatever it was that your garage. It's just, you can organize the world when you're in this. So the challenged aspect is you feel very disorganized. You know, you're losing everything, your keys, or you can't keep anything together. And the neutral, you feel your creative strength, your capacity to just create whatever needs to be created. And now we go back to sexy, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Your 10th one is your clitoris, okay? And this is going to sound really weird what I tell you this is for, okay? So in the positive, you excel in social situations. Now, that does not mean you need to bring home your entire office into your bed. It means that, you know, this is a time to be social, to organize, you know, parties, you can be the light of the universe in this, okay? In the challenged aspect of this, you feel very insecure and you just want to be around people that you know and love, okay? And in the neutral aspect, you're really charming and really in control of leadership, right? Just, you are the leader. You are the one that can be the holder of grace and connectivity. And the last one is the membranes of your vagina. I know, it's like how to get really personal.
Yeah, yeah.
In the positive, it is all about being energetic and connective. In the challenged aspect, you feel like a zero. And women, have you ever, had sex with the wrong person? And I'm saying sex, not making love, but sex. What do you feel like afterwards? What do we say? I feel like crap. But what that really means is zero. Like, why did I do that? And in the neutral aspect of this one, you feel like beginnings and endings are all the same. In other words, you're in such a neutral, connected place is that you could lose everything or gain everything and you'd be totally good with either thing. Just the essence of neutrality. So those are your magical 11 moon centers, and there's so much more on each one. And there's so much, each one of them in the book, you have meditations, you have breaths, you have everything that can get you back to that empowered state. So if you're up for it, I'd like to just share at least one breath that can help you almost at any time get back from, a challenged aspect to a neutral aspect. Okay? Are you up for that?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. I'll go along with it. Sure.
Okay. So there's one called, it's really easy, a 2-part breath.
Okay.
So you just inhale in 2 parts and you exhale in 2 parts. And what is this for? It's for breaking up a feeling or an energy. You can do this 2 parts or 4 parts or 8 parts. There's like a million ways you can do it, but 2 is the easiest. And when you're really stressed out, it's really hard to breathe through your nose because you're really tight, but your mouth is so much easier. So you're going to kind of make an O out of your mouth, and you're just going to inhale 2 quick breaths and then exhale out. But you want to do it really powerfully, so it's really powerful in. And when you inhale, I want you to get big and fat, expand, right? So it's just let everything expand, your diaphragm, your ribs. And when you exhale, just let everything, go convex, right? So concave. So,
Okay.
ready?
So this all through the mouth, right? Inhale 2 through the mouth, exhale 2 through the mouth.
Yeah. Yes. So let's just do it a few times so that I want to encourage you to have this tool so that anytime that you feel stressed, if you do this, I want to hear from you afterwards and say, did this really work or not so much? And I'm going to tell you, if you do this for 90 seconds to 3 minutes, at 3 minutes, it goes across the blood-brain barrier and it literally changes your cellular structure. So when you need to change your cellular structure, do something for 3 minutes. Hopefully something really great for you, right? Okay, but let's just for like 30 seconds.
Go. Okay.
Yes, okay. Now hold the breath in, and I just want you to suck on your tongue. Just suck on your tongue for a minute. Keep the breath in, suck on your tongue, keep it up at the roof of your mouth, and just suck on it. now powerfully exhale out your mouth. Powerfully as you can. Okay, Wagyu, I hope you did that with us, okay? And I hope that it just makes you feel so much better. But there's so many wonderful tools in this book that if you use them, you will have a much more empowered life. And women, instead of feeling crazy and owned by your emotions, you will feel like you can own them and you can utilize them. And men, in here, there's tools and there's things like, sometimes it's a great thing to run a bath for your wife or your partner. And other times it's great to take her out for dinner. Other times it's good to send her out with her friends. Other times it's, there's many options of what, can be done at each center. So if you want to have a more empowered, amazing life, get this book. It's worth it.
Okay, cool. So Gurutej, I have a question to ask because there's some women out there who are not regular. Like their menstrual cycle is irregular. Does the 28-day cycles still apply to them?
Because it's the cycle of the moon. The moon moves 28-day cycle. So this doesn't have, but I have known women who have started working with this and their cycles have regulated it, either with the new moon. Because we're lunar beings. Men are ruled by the sun and women are ruled by the moon. Mm-hmm. So most women's cycle either starts on the new moon or the full moon. If you can be in that cycle, if you can adjust yourself to do that, then it really does help the woman, feel more in tune with the moon. But if you start using these, I want to hear back. If you know somebody that's in that thing, I want to hear back. If they do these things, let's find out. I want to hear back. I'm not, you are all really important to me. So if you connect with me on this, I love it. Yeah. And you can follow me on Facebook or, you come to my website and be part of my community on there. And I would love to have you.
All right, cool. So where can our listeners get a hold of you on your website or on Facebook, the social media things that you mentioned just now?
Yes. So Facebook is just Gurutej Kaur, Gurutej Kaur, and my website is just gurutej.com, Gurutej.com.
Okay, cool. So Gurutej, you mentioned that your Facebook is Kaur, but you're also known as Khalsa. Is there a difference between the two?
Well, Kaur is actually my middle name. It's Gurutej Khalsa.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, but that's a good.
Some people might get confused. Khalsa, what's going on?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, just to let them know. Okay, so Gurutej, let me pose a question for you. Let's say you met up with a couple, maybe newly married, maybe they've been around for years, and there's something about the woman's cycles that's kind of driving the guy batty, could be driving her batty as well. And let's say you had only enough time to tell that person or those people one thing about cycles and their relationships with, how they work. What would be that one thing you'd tell them?
I would say pick a meditation in this book that helps to slow you down, because the more that we can get our internal rhythms slowed down, the more that we can be present with each other. And the most beautiful thing in life is we can live at each other, we can live with each other, or we can live for each other. And for each other does not mean that you become a doormat. It just means that you are there for, and you have to be slowed down to be connected enough to be there for. And when you do that, then you'll be able to tune into the subtleties of the other person, and it will make things so much better. Because most of the time we rush through and we talk to people like this, and we, understand this right now, and we're just so driven by the perceived lack of time, right? So when you can slow things down, sitali breath is great. It's just, a very slow, just press your tongue against the back of your teeth and just inhale through the sides of your mouth. Slow your rhythms down and be present. Yes.
So this is really all about being present to what is and being present to the other person then.
Yes, yes, and you'll find, oh my God, you'll find magic instead of tragic.
All right, fantastic. So, Gurutej, before we sign off, are there any last words of wisdom you'd like to share to inspire our listeners?
I just want to say there's nothing more important in your life, nothing, than having good tools and using those tools to create habits that sustain the essence of you so that you can feel empowered, alive, calm, and connected. And that's what everything I do is about.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so in closing, then, the book is The Moon She Rocks You. The author's our guest, Gurutej Khalsa. And you can find her book on Amazon and also on her website, gurutej.com. That's gurutej.com. So, Gurutej, thank you very much for your time and for being an author story. It was very insightful, I must say, having you with us today.
Thank you, darling. I really appreciate everything that you do. Thank you so much for sharing with your wonderful clients, the people that look to you and all of the people that show up. Blessings.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Gurutej. So, if any of you listeners want to know more about this topic, please feel free to go ahead and check out The Moon She Rocks You, which you can do so right now by going to the Amazon link in the description below the video. And if you'd like to follow our author interviews on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe to our channel. So, bye for now, everyone. I'll be back next time on Author Story with another inspiring author.